Hello, everyone. AEW on YouTube. I want to say good morning, which it's almost like afternoon for me anyway, but I also don't know what time zones people are in. So, AJC on Twitch. What's up? Eduardo on YouTube. Good day, I guess is like a safe one. Prakita official. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? I still feel like it's like beginning of the week, even though I guess it's beginning ish, but I feel like it's a Monday, even though it's Tuesday. I'm hoping that I will be back in my regular office in the next couple of days. We've got to start putting some of our house back together. And that is one of the goals is to get back in my office. So we'll see. Santi on YouTube. Yes. Streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So there's not the only advantage to being on Twitch is it's really not much, but I have a few commands that people can use there. So um, specifically one where you can change the theme in VS Code. So if you're interested in doing that, feel free. But other than that, not really any advantage either way. I'll kind of call out messages and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Actually, I want to spend more time. I haven't done that in a while, but it's really cool when you start doing all that stuff. Yeah, so this is an AJC is like calling out the obvious stuff that I'm missing. So a little bit of context. I used to have affiliate status with Twitch, which meant that I could actually register like formal commands. So you could actually go into the commands and then choose like one from the list. So since I got rid of that, and I got rid of that so that I could legally, even though a lot of people don't care, I could stream to both YouTube and Twitch. Some people do it anyway, but when you're an affiliate, you're not supposed to. So I just like backed out of affiliate status on Twitch. And then I haven't like upgraded my commands and stuff to run just as commands. So I have a couple of commands that actually do run. One of the ones I need to do is backfill a commands command, which will actually show um, a list of all the commands that you can run. So anyway, AJC, yeah, it's something I should ask or should add. Danny Thompson, we were chatting this morning. What's up, Danny? Lucas asking, will it be a record? I'm assuming like, will this be recorded? It'll be on YouTube after the fact, long term, so you can go and watch. And Nibby is asking, what is your setup for streaming to both YouTube and Twitch software wise? So I use StreamYard. I actually have done like OBS on my machine before as well. And I actually kind of enjoy that. The problem is when you bring on guests, it gets like infinitely more complicated. So StreamYard is like limited in capability in comparison to doing something like directly through OBS, but it's about as simple as it gets. So for that reason, I use StreamYard, which is pretty sweet. Parasocial on Twitch. What's up? What's up? Have I tried Restream? I haven't tried Restream. I think Restream is like you kind of get the UI dashboard and a website to invite people to, but then you pipe that into OBS, I believe. So I've heard of other people doing different things. And again, it just had like I haven't like invested really any time into like upping streaming setup or anything recently. But I have heard of people. Oh, it's just like StreamYard. Maybe have I used that? There was another one we used at it may have been Restream. I think I used this at Planet Scale when I was there. So the couple of streams we did, I think we used Restream for that. Yeah. Um yeah, so it was good. I don't know if there's like anything like really big either way. But StreamYard is something that I've used a ton. So and it worked really well. Yeah. If you have other questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. But I am also going to share my screen to show you some code. So I guess a little bit of extra context. One of the things that I want to do with Discord is kind of post like a weekly question into our discussions channel. So inside of Learn Build Teach Discord, you can find it at learnbuildteach.com if you're interested. We have a discussions channel, and so one of the things I want to do is like have um I want to have like an automatically posted like weekly question for discussion. And so I would like build up a list of questions, save those into a database, and then add in the bot the ability to like every Monday go and post this question. And Parasocial is having fun of when did I start learning about signals? Do people know about signals in terms of like similar to observables? This is something like I hear people talking about a lot right now. And I don't like a lot of people commented on my post to like help teach a little bit, but I haven't really like dug deeper into it, but Signal seems to be this like really hot topic right now. So if anybody has extra additional context on what they are, feel free to to add that. Learn with not Jason. Learn with Joseph on YouTube. What's up? Signals has become a big thing mostly because Solid and Ryan have been blowing up recently. Yeah, so is Signal specifically to Solid? And for people that haven't seen this, Solid JS signals. Signals are awesome in terms of reactivity and zoneless. I don't actually know how zoneless feels or what that means there. Parasocial to talk about signals. Parasocial, are you really big into Signal slash specifically Solid? And Solid is something I have not used myself, so I don't know much. Um, I don't know much about that. Brian's Twitter profile used to say I didn't invent signals. That's amazing. Also, fun fact: I just signed up for the paid version of ChatGPT, so I now have access to GPT-4. I'm looking forward to using that to do fun things. I don't know what it is. Actually, the fun fact is these questions. So I generated a list of like 50 questions, not to give these away too early. Here's all the questions. So these are the questions that I'm going to end up saving into my database and the Supabase here in a minute. And all of these were generated by ChatGPT, which I think is super cool. So I told ChatGPT, like, I want a list of questions that I can ask to my Discord based on these topics. And it gave me all these questions. And I went through and like did a quick vetting, and they were all pretty spot on with stuff that I think makes sense. So these were from ChatGPT. Zoneless only makes sense in Angular. Yeah, I don't know that. Use Solid Astro in production for almost a year now. Oh, nice. So you use Solid in Astro, which makes sense. Yeah, there's so many things that I would like to try that I just really haven't. So let's see. I want to show people the app, like the starter file for this thing. So it does a handful of different things. One of the things it does is starts an Express server. So we have API endpoints for like content that people have shared and other things. So we have an Express server. And then I have this like load function that I just created. And there's a specific reason why, although it still didn't quite solve the problem that I was looking for. But basically, inside of here, we check like different feature flags. Like, do we want to have the post weekly discussion? Do we want to enable the event scheduler? Do we want to send tweets? Do we want to do other things? And if those things are true, go ahead and like start each of those. So start event scheduler, start tweet scheduler, and start discussion scheduler. Nibby asked, do I think the paid ChatGPT is worth it? I don't know. I just paid for it. I specifically want access to GPT-4. And I never really had too much of an issue with getting access to it after someone told me, like, just keep refreshing until they let you in. So we'll see. I don't know. But for right now, I specifically wanted access to GPT-4 so that I can use that for demos and content and stuff right now. So we'll see if I continue to pay for it long term. But overall, ChatGPT to me is like just incredible. I get more and more excited about it every day. So basically open sourcing what we use at work. Ooh, parasocial. That's really cool. I'd love to hear more about that someday. That's really cool. Building like a framework from scratch. Is that what you mean? So back to Discord stuff. So this will call a start discussion scheduler, and this has a cron job. I believe this is what I say, like every Monday at 10, I believe. Because I got this from Copilot. So I just asked it to generate the cron for me. I should go back and confirm that, but I think that's what it does. So inside of here, it just schedules that thing. And then on the cron, it calls post discussion question. And then I also then call this once myself. So just to show that this gets created. So let's go back to the test server. Here is an example. And let's just run this really quickly just to show that it actually does. So it'll wait 2 seconds. The reason it waits 2 seconds is it needs like the bot to be like fully registered to then recognize the channel, which is interesting. So this won't be a problem once this is actually on the cron and not just like starting immediately. But I think, do I have a log? I don't think I have a log to say that happened successfully. So if I navigate to a channel and then come back, you can see that this actually posted to the forum channel, which if you use Discord.js was like super annoying to have no documentation on how to post to a forum channel. Like I love working with Discord.js in terms of like what I'm able to do with it. Documentation is like one of the worst things I've ever seen from discoverability. Like if I want to know how to do something, discoverability is horrible. and that's frustrating. Nibby says, use the free tier today for generating a complete SQL data model. It was awesome. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the use cases are like absolutely endless. And I was talking to Zeta this morning. Zeta is a database company about how they've incorporated AI into their product, and you see other products doing it, and it's like it is just so incredible. I'm super excited about it. Jay's documentation is dreadful. If you're talking about Discord JS, it's like how do you expect people to use this? Like, I'm an experienced enough developer where I can go in and dig into source code when I have to, but it's really freaking annoying to have to do something basic. So that's just anyway, yeah. Max on YouTube, what's up? What's up? Use Joe tie, which is kind of the closest thing to signals that you can use it. I've heard of that recently, in my opinion. Ryan disagrees. There's lots of disagreement opportunities in tech, I think. Okay, so here's where we are. One thing I'm going to do is actually kill this. I'm going to get rid of this part. Actually, I may come back to this. I will comment this out for now because as this live reloads, I don't want it to post another question every time. So inside of here, we're basically just hard coding a question. So we call channel, or we get the channel first. So we get that, and then we call threads, and then we create a thread because this is a forum channel. So we need to create a thread in here. And what's interesting is like you have the name, which is the topic up here, but then you have to leave a comment. So you can't not leave a comment, which seems silly. So I just have like, what are your thoughts? So in theory, what this part should be is this should be like a question variable. So we'll say question equals that, and then we'll pass in the question as the name. So we want to load this question, in this case from Supabase. Then we want to mark that question as asked so that we don't ask that question again, if that makes sense. Automate all the things. 100%. I'm with you. What's up, Gooseman? Paris on YouTube. What's up? What's up? Where do I host the bot? The bot is hosted on Heroku. So I was already paying the $7 a month before they got rid of the free tier. So I've just stuck with Heroku, and I like it. But it is inconvenient for people that they don't have a free tier anymore. But it's worked well. So in here, I want to get the question, and I think I started to work on this. Not that one, but this one. I think this isn't supposed to be capitalized. How did I discussion question? Let's rename this. I thought I did this before. Yeah, nope. See, it didn't work. Lowercase d. That seemed to work. Okay. So there's two functions in here that I need. It's one is get unasked question, and the other is mark question as asked. A lot of this stuff came directly from GitHub Copilot, which I have now enabled inside of here as well. Paris's Railway also has a nice free tier. So I use Render for one project, but I've tried Render and Railway and Fly.io. All I hear people rave about them all the time. I had issues with all of them. I couldn't even tell you what the specifics were, so don't ask because I don't remember. But when you compare to something like Netlify and Vercel, these are different products that they're hosting, but just to like give it a GitHub repository and it works, it just didn't work for me and other ones. And it's like very disappointing. I don't know why. And I should probably go back at some point because I hear great things about all of them. Yes, AJC, 100%. I agree. It's hosting a different thing. It's a real server, but the reality is there should be a UI where I just tell it I'm using Node, give it a project and a build command, and it should be able to run. I don't understand why it doesn't do that. So yes, I understand the difference between that and Vercel and Netlify and Cloudflare, et cetera. But yeah, see, this is what I hear all the time. AJC, I hear people say that about Railway, about Render, and about Fly. And I should go back and give it another try. That's fair. But each one of those I've had issues with, and I didn't understand why. Going back in the chat some, Nibby is asking, what is Zeta using AI for? Do you know any specifics? So Zeta has used AI to ingest all of their docs and be able to ask questions about their docs. So if you want to know, how do I install the CLI? Like they can just give you an answer right inside of there based on their docs. So that's one thing. The other thing is you can kind of build stuff around this ask model that can do stuff based on the data that you have. So it combines OpenAI and and their search functionality to be able to do some cool stuff that I can't talk too intelligently about. But next week I'm going to do a stream with Demetrius from Zeta, and we'll dive deeper into that and talk about examples. So come back next Thursday at the same time for that stuff. Jace, for selling Netlify are really accessible even for noobs. Yep. Jace, again, like I don't understand why, from my experience, these other platforms didn't just have the here's a repo, here's a command, here's the type of repo it is, run it. Rogo, what's up? Is this those React things we were talking about the other day? Remind me what we were talking about, because I don't remember what we were talking about in React. Use Railway regularly for 2 years. Nice. Also a new boy in town called Data. Is that another DETA? Is that another hosting platform? Interesting. Just baby Heroku, I guess. Yeah. Render Railway fly shine with non-Node.js apps that require more difficult, which probably explains the friction. Fair enough. If you're using Dino, I would love to use Dino. Roka, I don't even remember. Me neither. Sorry. We have the same feature in Fogbender as well. You put your docs website URL and we give the ability to talk to. Yeah, that's cool stuff. We're probably going to do a demo of that sort of thing next week in the live stream. So come and check that out. All right. So inside of here, going back to what we got going on. We got two functions. One is to get a question, and the key thing is here we only want to get one question, and we want to limit this, or we want to make sure that we're only getting questions that are the asked property is false. So that's good. And then we want to return that thing as a discussion question. Oh, React server components. Yeah. So I did a stream. I joined. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I joined Brian Holmes, not Ben Holmes, not Brian Holmes. I know B Holmes Dev. It is Ben, right? Somebody like triple check me so I don't sound like an idiot on the internet, which is what I usually do. Thank you. I don't know. There's so bad. It's funny when you like 90% sure. Thanks. That's not helpful. It's funny when you get used to Ben Squared is when he streams with Ben Myers. Okay. Yeah. Another one to get confused with. But when you get so used to like usernames or like handles or whatever, and then you're like, wait, what is this person's real name? Also, somebody please pre-apologize to Ben for me that I like blanked on his first name live on stream. Some people still call me AJ. Do they not call you AJ? Or are you saying they just call you AJ from your like handle and not Anthony? And I think because my name is Anthony. Yeah. Anthony, I forget. I always did the middle name wrong. Anthony Joshua Campolo is either Joshua or Joseph. No, I think it's Joseph. Anthony Joseph. It's Joseph. I corrected myself before your chat came in, so I get credit for that. I do get credit. But Joshua was the other one that I always got confused with. But I caught myself. So I get like a high five or something. I don't know what it would be. 90 squared is 8,100. Sure. That sounds right. Okay, so we have these two things. Now we can start to actually leverage them. So we don't actually have any questions in the database yet, although we have one. So we'll actually see this in action in a second. The thing I want to do is go ahead and let's load the question. So this is await get unasked question. Cool. And then after we do this, let's do an int, a sin in here, and we'll say discussion question. Ooh, look at that. That's exactly what I wanted. Ooh, I like this. GitHub Copilot with a little bit of syntax. So discussion question posted, and there's my extra parentheses. It'll convert that to backticks. We can also move this inside of here. So that'll work. Name is question is not assignable to type. Oh, this is, I think it's question.question because this thing returns an actual question object, and then we want to actually post the question. So after we get the question, we post the question. After that works, then we mark Oh, it did it for me. What? See, GitHub Copilot is so wild because I like haven't even given it context for that's the next thing that I want to do. Like nowhere in here have I typed. Well, I guess I did have the comment above. I had a comment at some point that said Mark questions asked. But this is exactly what I want to do, I believe. Mark question. Oh, and then I have to import. Yeah, wow. Have I played with GitHub Copilot's lab change exists? No, I haven't. Um, no, I haven't. Please provide any context you have on that. My dog is making like really weird noises. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, I found out. There's another dog like across the street, so she's in the window like making noises. I've noticed Copilot is getting smarter with the context of code. Gooseman, you're a big Copilot user, right? I just enabled this recently because the reason I didn't do it was from a teaching perspective. Because teaching code is hard when you have Copilot writing all the shit for you and you don't have time to explain it. So I turned it off, but now I've got it turned back on, and I really enjoy it. So, who is this message for? I'm gonna pull up this tweet just out of context from Peer Social. And hopefully you just described what the custom button in Copilot Labs does. I'm done. So, okay, cool. I'll check that out later and actually watch that video so I can actually pay attention to it. Okay, so I want to do these things. Let me open up Supabase. The one thing we haven't really done is like seed the database yet. So I have one question in here, and we'll come back and add in all the questions so that we can go and work with them. But let's start with this and just see if this process of grabbing a question and then marking it and then posting it works. Max, that's a great call out. I should do that. I just haven't yet. Again, like a million things. So that is a great idea for one when I'm doing tutorials. Where you going, Jess? Oh, it's not because I'm too loud. Really? But if you didn't have a call, it would be okay. No, she said I'm very loud. Love you too, Jess. Hey, if you have, that's okay. Love you. She loves me. If you wanted to make a coffee, yeah, I figured that was Jess. She's gone. Now we can really talk about her. Surprised she didn't come back. Just kidding. Matthias, what's up? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás? Or try to remember that about Twitter. Max programming, yeah. Let's go back to or go into our table. We have our discussion question, and we should have asked or should have one and asked is false. So let us go to the code. Let us post one question or attempt to, and let's just see what happens. So fingers crossed, everybody in the chat. We should have like some sort of animation or so. See, that's one of the downsides with StreamYard is I can't do like custom code overlays and stuff because it'd be awesome to have like a fingers crossed animation or something. I don't know. So let's run this in 2 seconds. It should start to do that thing, and hey, it failed. That's great. Oh well, I didn't. Did I not catch? Oh, this should definitely go inside of here. So it looks like it failed to load the question, which I don't know why yet. We'll try that again. Oh, that's not. Well, we should also log out the actual error instead of just the message that it failed. Thanks. Okay, perhaps you meant to the column created at. Okay. We don't even need that. So I think they did like an order in here. We could have that, but in this case, like all of them are being updated now, and I don't really care about that. So I'm just gonna get rid of that part, and then did this restart? Um. Well, I got rid of created at. So why are you still running it? It said save, right? Created. Okay, that's not on here. Also weird to me that this is not restarting when I save inside of this file. That's weird. Um, It should restart there anyway. Let's see. Discussion. Okay. So a question, that should be a question, and then this should be question. And we also should say if not question, see info or error, probably error. Failed to find a question to post. Sure. And let's just go ahead and return there. So this should do this the second time around. Because it should have posted and sure. Max and Nibby, I'll come back to both of these. I wonder if get unasked questions. Okay, so that is triggering this catch. What's up, Andrew? Yeah, Max and Nibby, I'll come back to both of those questions. I'm not sure how I triggered what I just triggered. So this should make a request. If there is an error, I throw the error, which is when I'm inside of here. How did I not actually shouldn't that have triggered this catch? Oh no, it did the right thing. It said failed to find just no, not that one. Failed to find a question to post. Okay, so that's correct. So let's go back one time. Let's do two things. Let's confirm this got posted. So inside of forums, this was posted. So we have the question. Looks good. What are your thoughts? Yay. Whoa. Miss Titan, are you watching the stream? I forget that I like added some people. I forgot that I added people to my test Discord at one point to test some things out for me. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay. Two things, but so it looks like that worked, which is good. Let's double check one more thing, and that is that this data gets marked as true. So it's already been true, which means we can't query it after. So it looks like it works well. So Max, the command for the theme, it's again, there's not IntelliSense, but random VS Code theme is what it is. So random theme would actually probably be simpler and better. And actually, if we want, we can take a few minutes after this to update fans in the Twitch bot. So we could get to that, but it should look like this. Which, if I can kick us off, this is only on Twitch, by the way. If you're watching on YouTube, this is not going to work, but I can actually do this myself. I think. Do I have a check in here to make sure it's not me? I can't remember. Cool, that works. So this just the command in Twitch chat just updated the theme in VS Code. I want to do a lot more of this stuff because I think they're super fun interactions. I just haven't. So if anybody has fun ideas and if you want to do like a PR against the repo, this is James Q Quick Twitch bot. The code is public, so you can actually go and like look at it. There's no README. I apologize because I'm the worst. But you could go and look into it and create some cool ones that you think would be fun to include. So feel free to do that. Okay, so this seems like it works well. Now the only thing would be like confirming that this runs on the right cadence. What is regex generator? There's an app that I use, which is really cool. Ooh, Nibby, that's a great idea. That is a really good idea. So how do we want to try that actually? We should absolutely try that. Let me see really quickly. There's a regex builder that I really liked that I don't. It's like, whoa, that's a lot. I forget. Rats. Expression builder. Actually, let's just go to ChatGPT anyway, and let's do this here. So a couple of things. Sorry, I got anyone say Svelte. Not actually using Svelte right now, although we could. So Suzzy is asking on YouTube what this bot does. So this is our Discord bot. So what it does is a few different things. So what I'm working on is it for it to automatically create a new discussion question in the discussions channel every Monday. So that's the thing that I'm working on now. It also automatically creates these events. So our community chat hour and the Learn Build Teach wins of the week. So these are coming up Thursday and Friday. So it does that. Also has a few commands in here to support people that are creating and sharing content and other things. So there's some cool functionality I think in there. But let's do two things with ChatGPT. Can you generate a regex in JavaScript that will run every Monday morning at 10 a.m.? Parasocial, you just asked the correct question there. Cyan got you actually you don't use it that much, but love it. The number one biggest fan that uses it not that much. It seems you have misunderstood the purpose of regex. Regex is used for pattern matching. Oh, because I typed in regex. That's not what I meant. Um, this is hilarious because ChatGPT is 100% right. I did mean cron. ChatGPT. I've been saying regex this whole time. ChatGPT is not only smart enough to answer questions, it's also intelligent enough to tell you when you're an idiot. Can someone clip that if that's not like already clipped? I don't know if my like clip buttons work anymore. I should go back and confirm this, but yeah, sassy GPT. This is great. And then it's going ahead and like doing the whole thing, which is amazing. That's oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay. Stop generating. Sorry, I meant a cron sentence. Yeah, everybody listening to this is like James is an idiot. He has no idea what he's talking about, and that's totally fair. Sorry, I meant a cron syntax that I can use in JavaScript. And this is cool because ChatGPT should still have the context here of like what we were talking about, and then it apologizes to me. Node cron library. Yes, I'm using that. First, you'll need to install. I didn't need all of that, but that's cool. Like that's cron job that runs your function every Monday morning. This is you can edit existing questions. Yeah. Yeah, so not only does it just show me I could be more specific and just like say, give me the string, but it actually shows me how to do the entire thing. Imagine apologizing to a bot because it's so friendly. I know. Um, oh, how amazing is this? How amazing is this? Wow. Canadian vibes. Oh, the over apologizing. Yeah. Oh, and the explanation. Oh, that's cool. Wow. The explanation though, that's really amazing. Okay. This is so helpful. Holy shit. Holy hell, that's cool. Wow. Okay, so it goes through the package that you'll need, how to install the package. It creates the function, it creates the so I did this slightly different where I didn't create like a task. I just called it's interesting because I don't call like start in mine. Do you have to call start? Because I don't call start anywhere. Huh. Does it tell you like in so node cron npm? Does it tell you you have to do that? Because I have this working in other places and I don't call start at all. Yeah, it doesn't use it here. Start the scheduled task. Oh, I didn't realize node cron and quartz expressions were. I don't know what quartz expressions are. What's up, True Legit? Jay says didn't realize you could do this to ChatGPT. Yeah, GPT-4 very good at writing tutorials. Yeah. Um, scheduled tasks. Oh, that's a great question. Why do we waste our time? Can you explain why you called the start function? I didn't think I needed to call that specifically. Yeah, why am I wasting my time doing research myself? Apologize at the start. Oh my gosh, it's not necessary when using node cron. When you create a cron job using the schedule syntax. Holy shit. Automatically started by default. So you can actually skip. Holy shit. So you can actually skip the start. Wow. So it's automatically started by default when you call schedule. Holy hell. And it, like, corrected itself? What? What? And the explanations are what killed me, though. Like, that takes this to the next level. Like, imagine someone like I mean, all of us learning something new and like, why does it do that? Why does that not work? Why does it work? Which is both common questions in programming. Holy shit, that's cool. Actually, this would be good context, I think, to add to the docs. Like, this may be a little excessive, but I feel like that's a reasonable enough context to have to add in here. I don't know if you know the channel number boilerplate, but he described ChatGPT as 1,000 interns, and I think it's 100% correct. Oh, man. That's amazing. Wow. I mean, this is like I guess I can put this up here, like, for context too. Wow. Man, I'm blown away. Um, super, super cool. Let's go ahead and say that this will try to do that thing again, and it should say weekly event scheduler. Oh, I took out the a call immediately, which is perfect because I don't want it to do that. Cool. Been enjoying using the Bing AI feature because it also includes links to sites so I can read more. Yeah, Gooseman. So I didn't actually watch your video. If you have a link to that video, throw it in the chat um, so everyone else can benefit from it as well. And I will go back and watch it after the stream. But tell me more about what and how you're using Bing AI. Like, is it just built on top of like GPT models? Like, does it just leverage those, or like what do you think? Let me know. I can also paste your function into ChatGPT and ask it to write documentation for it. That's cool too. Yeah, this is like silly. Oh, let's try this thing that we were talking about where let's go to GitHub. Oh, actually I should have um this is amazing. Thank you. So am I being too like this is probably not necessary to be polite, but ChatGPT is like, I don't know what to tell you. This is so amazing. Um, Anthony said Bing uses GPT, but it's also connected to the internet, so you can give it links. It also provides sources for stuff it says, which is really nice. Bing can talk to you about search results, so you can ask about stuff that is not. Oh, okay. I didn't think about the fact that like obviously GPT is only trained on so much data. Interesting. You only get a set amount of GPT messages. Yeah, I saw that. So yeah, that's fair. Um, that's a great point. And it actually like had a call out on here where you get like I can't even remember what it said, like 25 for 3 hours or something, so I should be careful. But I do wanna do one other thing, with let's change this to 4. It'll say 25 messages every 3 hours. So, can you generate a README file for this repository, which is a Twitch bot to handle incoming commands from Twitch and written in I probably don't even need to add this. And then I give it the link. Is this? I have no idea how this is gonna go. Oh, it's like all right, it's just like starting to wow. Bing even gives us the website where the resources come from. That sounds super nice. Yeah. Quartz is a job scheduler I've used at work. Always thought the cron job expressions were all the same across schedulers. Close enough. Yeah. I'm not surprised that they're not. Okay, I'm gonna let this run because this is wild. What are the benefits of GPT Plus? So GPT Plus is the paid account, which I just paid for. The main reason I paid for it right now is I wanted access to GPT-4. That's specifically what I wanted to do. So I'm paying for it now. Whether or not I pay for it long term, I don't know. But in this case, specifically paying for it to have access to GPT-4. Now, the other thing I need to do, is maybe a question for the chat. So I want to seed my database. So I want to take um, all of these questions, and I want to seed them into Superbase, meaning I want to upload all these questions to Superbase. Should I save this file longer term for other people, like, if they wanted to test this out and give them, like, a seed script? Which may be honestly the way to go because I think that actually is the way to go. Um, so I'm gonna start in here, and I'm gonna create a function called seed discussion questions, and that be a function. I already have the questions defined, and then I can take the discussion questions and maybe have this under like a seed directory. So under discussion question and seed, uh, and just put that in there too. Okay. I don't know that like this is not the best organized thing, but let's export const discussion questions. Let's import discussion questions. Um, Save all of the questions to I guess I don't have this inside of my code for this. So instead of soup or discussion question and the database property, let's create export const save discussion questions. And this will be async. It will take in an array of questions, which will be, yep, that. Thank you, ChatGPT. And then, whew, wow. Wait, Superbase from this table, insert if error throw. Um, cool. That seems to work, right? Question for this chat or ChatGPT? Just ask ChatGPT to make it. Wanted to return code that you can copy and paste. Oh, yeah. That's fair. That would have been nice to can you convert that to markdown syntax so I can copy and paste it into my code? There's another question I wasted, which means if you get better and better with asking questions, you get to ask less questions if you just ask for the details up front, which is nice. So save discussion questions, pass in an array of questions, superbase.from the discussion question table, insert the questions. If there's an error, throw it. Otherwise, you're good to go. Scion, I think it said there's 25 questions that you can ask over the span of 3 hours. So yeah, just something to definitely pay attention to, but not like super limiting. So okay. So in seed discussion questions, I'm gonna call save discussion questions and pass in the discussion questions. Wait, and we'll have export const seed equals async. And inside of here, I'll call that one. Questions. Oh, fair enough. Oh, that's a good point. So they are in the format of I guess I could go ahead and like change all of these. Hmm. Does anyone know? Is there a way to put a cursor at the beginning of every line, like automatically though? Because the only issue I'm zooming out now so that I can do multiple cursors, and I will like update this. But if I'm zoomed in and they wrap, then it's hard for me to click and choose like how to put multiple cursors. But here's what I'll do: is I'm going to zoom out. We're going to need to convert all of these to an object. Dun, dun, dun. So there's object. We'll have the question be that. We'll have asked be false. Yes. And then we'll say this is an array of discussion. And then it's going to tell us that some stuff is missing. ID is missing the following props ID. So inside of types, thing has to have an ID. What we should do is have like a we should have a property for, I think, what are we doing here? Call it like create, Discord user update, Discord user insert. Okay. So let's call this, and let's just say Discord or discussion question insert, which actually only needs the question because the other stuff is auto generated. So let's say discussion question insert. Before we do that, let's backtrack a little bit and just get rid of the Boolean. People follow what I'm doing, by the way? Mm, yes. And oh, that's gross. And then let's say this is a discussion question insert. Property question is missing. Oh, array. Yes, cool. Sign, get going now. Good talking to you. See ya. And keep spelling. I love it. Ooh, does that let me go and grab that link from Anthony because I would be curious if that works. And A Alt Shift I. Interesting. So Command A Alt Shift I. Hmm. Okay. That's cool. That actually worked. That's nice. It's a nice tip. And inside of here, questions is going to be discussion question insert. Does it let me do that? Okay. Seems like it does. Cool. So I should be able to do that. And then inside of the seed function, I just want to call that. And then I guess I don't know where the best way to actually call this would be. So I'm gonna hack this a little. If somebody has a suggestion on where to put this, feel free. Um, can I just call seed in here? Think so. I'm gonna kill this real quick, like auto restarts. And let's go into seed. After that is done, saved. Discussion questions. Let's surround that with try catch. The way we can log out the error if not. Nibby, something completely different. Is your current website built in Astro or did you change it back? My current website is built in Astro. And a lot of what is there is what I will do inside of the Astro course that I'm working on. So we have like there's a couple different demos that we'll build. One is a blog. So like all the stereotypical things that you'll think of. And then we'll add on some fun things on top of it, like authentication and comments and automatically generated cover images with Cloudinary. There's some fun things to layer on top of that in the higher tier, of course. And then there's a few other demos as well. So one's like a portfolio project, that sort of stuff. So it should be fun. All right. So I want to let's close that. Let's go back to this. Let's delete this question. Delete that because I want to have a fresh set of questions in here. I have a property for tags, but I'm not actually using those yet. But let's go and run this and like fingers crossed, we'll see if this works. Save discussion questions. All of which asked are false. And we actually have our questions. Love it. Some of these are actually kind of like I wonder if you can like randomly select. Is that possible with Supabase? So like some of them are similar topics, like back to back, and I would want to kind of spread them out. So, one, before I forget, I'm going to get rid of this seed so I don't call this again. Let's just get rid of that. That stuff is saved, so that's good. And then inside of the query, get unasked question, get random question from Supabase. I'm seeing if like GitHub Copilot will respond to me. Probably, like I wouldn't be surprised if not. Superbase, JavaScript, query, random record. Random items from database. Building quiz app, want to query, fetch another query to find the length. Interesting. So figure I need to make another query to find the length first, which returns all the IDs and the length of the collections. Use it for the query. Some leakage of data, also waterfall requests. Superbase, you can create database functions. I don't particularly want to go there. Quentin, Superbase. I wonder if this is using that as like well. Okay. I don't particularly want to go that far, but um, when do you make thumbnails for your live stream? So I typically do thumbnails for my live streams when I have guests on or when we do an episode of Compressed. So if I'm not doing it with a guest, then oftentimes, as you can see with this one, I don't necessarily do a thumbnail, although I probably should. It's um, just like a timing thing. So if I was being real with myself, I probably should. But um, another good way to get the same results. Keep in mind, solution in the video is using order by random. Yeah, these are gonna be small tables too. What does I thought he was saying he ended up using functions. I'm not sure. See, this sort of stuff scares me. I'm sure it's not that intimidating if I actually get into it. But we could do something simple. Um, query IDs from Superbase. No, not that. I don't know. Like I always debate like once things get the least bit tricky, I'm like, do I really need that thing? And answer is maybe not. I feel like it would be nice. If we were to do this, we do this, we're gonna select the ID and we're not gonna limit it to one. So what this data should be IDs or the unasked questions, I believe. Does that sound right? And what did this just log? Oh, this just scheduled an event. That's funny. Um, so get the IDs and let's actually take data const IDs equals exactly that. Yes. Then get a random number. So random number equals, wow, this is much too good. I cannot keep up with Copilot. So we get a random number between 0 and the length of the array. And we say random ID. Yep, exactly. And then we call get record by ID. Will this generate it for me? And now await superbase dot from questions. That part is right. And then select update. Yeah, I guess it's just a regular select, and then we do ID. Yeah, there. And that should be querying by the ID, so there should just be one record. Everybody following all this? Copilot's writing all my code, so hopefully we're doing it. Data is possibly null. So we could do a check in there for not data, throw error. And then let's call this IDs error. IDs error. So data in this case, why is that? Cannot redeclare. Is that down here too? So this one will be, this data will be questions. And we'll want to do that. That makes sense. So we get all the IDs. Let's log out all the IDs. Cool. I feel like this makes sense, right? So I just want to see all of the IDs and then we'll see the options here. And I don't want this entire thing. So let's go down to not this one. Go down to this one. Add our set timeout. And it's going to run after 2 seconds. Let me kill this. This is going to call post discussion question. And I also do not want to mark this thing. Also don't necessarily want to post this thing. I just want to see it say so. Try to it's really nice. So there's the IDs, which look legit. And then it gets a random one. Yeah. So that was question 55. And then 54. 8. Cool. That seems random. That works for me. And this is only running once a day. So it's going to do a query to get all the IDs for like 50 questions. And then it's going to choose one and then go and get the questions. So that works for me. I'm not too worried about performance implications there. So that looks good. Let's update this code. Yes. So get a question, no question, error, do that stuff. In discussion question, we'll get the IDs. We will log the IDs, which we don't need. Select them. Cool. That works for me. I'm tempted to post this to production, which is typically my go-to way to just like send stuff out. I will need to update a couple of things inside of environment variables too. So nothing in here is calling the seed function, right? So we have we're importing this in here, but we can get rid of that. Then we have a couple references to seed. What's the TS config doing with seed? Include seed. Did I do that? Interesting. Alexis, hello. Welcome on YouTube. I think that should be good. Maybe the other thing we do is take discussion questions, the seed file. I guess it's under a seed directory. So I guess I was going to change the name to like sample, but I think that's fine. So let's do added minimal seed functionality and added weekly discussion poster interaction with Superbase. Works for me. Edwin on YouTube, hello. I'm actually getting ready to wrap this up as we hit the hour, so I'm probably going to call it in a second. Um, but this is working pretty well. So I think this is exactly what I want. So just a quick recap for people. What I want is for that thing every week to post a new question to this forums channel for us to discuss and have conversations about. It should ask that question. It should also mark that thing as asked so we don't ask that same question again. Then we also made it to where it's going to do random questions. So it's not just like in order. So it grabs a random question. Um, cool. Oh, I'm also logging the question here, which I don't need. Let's get rid of that. Removed unnecessary log. And then I will go into, I'm going to hide my screen actually for a second. So I'm going to take this away. Go into my .env file. Oh, that's another thing I need to do is update the README with these pieces. Uh, that is another thing I need to do. So I'm going to copy those. I've got that. I can come back and share my screen. Tony Vito, hello. What's up, everyone? I'm going to go into the README, and under environment variables, these are not required. So optional variables, there is these two that we can paste in. So this is the discussions channel ID, that, and then this will be true or false. Just want to make sure that that's documented in here. And then inside of the example file, then we can inside of Discord. Do I not have a Discord optional? I'm sure some of those actually are, but we'll add optional in there. That's the channel ID post. Cool. Then we don't necessarily need. I'm a PHP dev. I started using Node 2 weeks ago, and I learned a lot from you. Thanks. Awesome, Tony. That's really cool. I have very little to almost no experience with PHP, but it's cool to see people coming into the JavaScript Node ecosystem from other places. That's exciting. How are there any like learning resources that you're following or anything? I'd love to hear how more of that learning journey is going. See, under README, I think that's all the things I need. Yeah, that should be good. So let's add data documentation and push that. Enjoy your node journey. Absolutely. All right, so that is pushed. Let's go into GitHub, learn, build, teach. There's just a random link here that I can start with. Let's go in here. Let's do a pull request. Dejan on Petrovich on YouTube. What's up? Let's see. Post weekly discussion questions. Uploaded questions to Supabase. Added questions, model and code and Supabase. Cron job to post questions weekly. Marks questions as asked after being asked. The other thing we need to do is go into Heroku and add those variables before we do this. Happy Refactoring Tuesday. Found myself needing to refactor a chunk of code today as a result of a review. Nice. All good learning experiences. Use Chat GPT 4 API to create topics. What are the topics for? It's probably something I just said, and I can't remember what I just said. What topics do you mean? Ali? Heroku. Get logged in here. And then I'll go into Learn, Build, Teach Discord bot. Go into settings. This is not going to actually show them, right? They're still going to be blurred out. Let me just double check. I don't think they will. No, they do. Okay, that's good to know. Now I know. All right, so I'm going to paste in these couple of things. So there's that one. And that actually needs to be updated. So I need to get the ID for the real channel. So this is going to be inside of here, inside of discussions. Let's get that one. Paste that in. And then I'm also going to add that other variable, which is post weekly discussions. Have that be true. So that'll be saved. That should be turned on when we do the bot. And now we can go back to GitHub and I can share my screen again. So let's create the pull request. Let that run. Let's go ahead and merge this to master. And we should be able to see inside of here, there is a build going on. So deploy. Come on. Well, it all of a sudden is loading for a long time. Wonder why. I'm going to refresh my Heroku dashboard. Used to the MVC pattern. I quickly got used to Express. Also like MySQL 2, much better and cleaner than a PHP frameworks. Very nice. Cool. I like it. That's really exciting. As Tony, was there a specific reason that you decided to learn Node? Was that like, is it job opportunities or just out of curiosity, or what does that look like for you? Anything in particular? Did I just kill Heroku, by the way? Like, obviously it wasn't me, but this, oh, don't do that one. What happened to Heroku? Maybe I killed it. Who knows? I didn't mean to. If I did. Is anyone else able to get to Heroku right now? It just showed me something. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on now. That is no fun. Seems up to you. So it's working for you, Anthony? Items could not be modified. At least the homepage is. Well, I don't know what I broke. Heroku murder has occurred. What? At least the homepage is. Well, what did I break? Okay. Yeah, I did a hard refresh a second ago. Carlo, welcome, by the way. Properties of null. I'm gonna really weird. Did I save an empty config? No, I didn't. Ask ChatGPT what's wrong with it. What in the world? Super weird. Tony, glad to hear that you enjoyed it. I love JavaScript out of curiosity. Decided to try a small project, fell in love with Node. That's how I was. I had never really done much. Then I took a course and used Node and loved it. And that's what I've been doing ever since. So I get that too. Can I see my logs? Did it actually run a build? Weekly discussion question poster started. So it started those things. Wow. Okay. Just the overview tab doesn't work. Super weird. Wow. Well, that's not a good look, Heroku. But that's what I wanted to accomplish today. So we did a good job. Thanks everyone for hanging out and answering questions and encouraging me to use ChatGPT to solve all of our problems for us. That's definitely the way to go. I will catch you all later. Thanks again for being here. I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow, but I have a stream. Who am I streaming with on Thursday? Let me double check that. Thursday's free. So it's just whatever we want to work on, which I may come back and work on the JQQ memes project with Next.js, AppWrite, and Cloudinary, which I'm excited about. So maybe come back and we'll do that. Same time, on Thursday, and then on Friday we have a live episode of the Compressed FM podcast. So I hope I can catch you all there. But thanks again for joining. Appreciate it.